Before we start today's show, we're closing in on yet another milestone here on the San Francisco 49ers Report, the largest independently run Niners channel that covers news every single day. You see the figures here to my right. We're 118 people away from 81,000 subscribers. Can we get there with this video? Look, if you're coming across the show for the first time, we give you content daily on the San Francisco 49ers. News, breaking news, analysis, juicy trade rumors, live shows, watch parties, we do it all. Let's get to 81,000 subs, and when we do that, we're honoring the great Terrell Owens. Today's show is presented by Roan. As you know, I love my commuter shirt here, and I love rocking it on air at Chat Sports. You can get their commuter collection and get 20% off site-wide by heading to roan.com/chatsports. Promo code chatsports for that deal to apply. When I was working in the TV news business, I came across this problem many, many times. I'd try to get these dress shirts. They had crappy material, not the case with Roan. They were a little bit too long, not the case with Roan. Sometimes they just didn't fit all that well. With Roan, it fits you, stretchable, breathable material. You also don't have to worry about taking these items to the dry cleaner any longer because they have wrinkle release technology where wrinkles disappear the more that you wear some of these shirts. And with the commuter collection, it gives you the world's most comfortable dress shirts, quarter zips, polos, pants, and more, so you can see for yourself. Chat Sports is the promo code at roan.com/chat sports, RHONE.com/chat sports. 20% off your order. We appreciate them for making today's show possible. Look, let's begin with this. I like Matt Maiocco of NBC Sports Bay Area. I think he does a great job covering the San Francisco 49ers. He's the preeminent reporter when it comes to covering the Niners, right? But what he said today on KNBR, it's blasphemous. It's wild. It's crazy. He said this, quote, and I'm not kidding, Sam Darnold might be the most talented thrower of the football that the 49ers have ever had. Let's just put him high in the echelon of guys who can just drop back in the pocket and throw the pigskin. I think that he hasn't really had any chance to succeed since his college days are over. I think he's had 4 head coaches in 5 years, 5 offensive coordinators in 5 years. He's a talented guy. Matt, you've been covering this football team for a really long time. You joined me on Super Bowl Radio Row. I was so thankful for your appearance, and you come out with some of these reports that are great reports and very important for all content creators out there. I like what you do on air in addition to the written aspect of what you do. Sam Darnold, the most talented thrower of the football in the history of the 49ers? Have we forgotten about Joe Montana and Steve Young winning rings for this organization? I hear you on the lack of stability for Sam Darnold because 2 things can be true. Sam Darnold has a lot of ability, but he's been a turnover machine, and he has struggled mightily in his NFL career. And that lack of organizational stability hasn't just happened at the NFL level, where he's had a bunch of different coaches, a bunch of different offensive coordinators, and with that, a bunch of different schemes. But when he was at USC, Clay Helton was in over his skis, and that's when Sam Darnold was there. But coaching doesn't always impact you just making bad decisions with the football, and Sam Darnold, he's turned the football over a lot. Here are his numbers since 2018. He's 21-34 as a starter. He's thrown 61 touchdowns to 55 picks. He's been last in passer rating among all qualifying quarterbacks at 78.2. Last in completion percentage at 59.7. Third worst interception rate, just ahead of Jameis Winston and Ryan Fitzpatrick, turnover machines. Last in air yards per attempt and 4th worst in yards per attempt. So there's been a long sample size that has shown all of us that Sam Darnold is what he is. Now, there's been a lot of chatter on Twitter over the last couple of days that maybe Sam Darnold can be the Niners' next Alex Smith. But are you winning a Super Bowl with Alex Smith? No. I love what Harbaugh did with Alex Smith. What Andy Reid did with Alex Smith as a reclamation project was very, very impressive. But how can we forget about Joe Montana, arguably the GOAT, and Steve Young, one of the most athletic quarterbacks of all time, both of whom were great throwers of the football? I mean, have we forgotten about that Steve Young dot downfield, down the seam. Have we forgotten about Joe Montana to Dwight Clark with the catch? Those were great throws. Sam Darnold hasn't had a moment like that. Come on, man. Come on. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So take a guess. How many games will Sam Darnold start in 2023? I don't know. Jeremy Fowler did report that he might start for the Niners week 1. I'm getting some zeros here in the chat sports office from the homie Sam Brown. You let me know down in the comment section. From Sam Darnold to Brock Purdy. Hopefully Brock Purdy continues to heal so that we don't have to see Sam Darnold. And look, going back to Darnold here, I just can't help myself. I can't help myself. I sound like Stephen A. Smith. Can Kyle Shanahan maximize Sam Darnold? He's maximized C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy. But Sam Darnold is what Sam Darnold is, in my opinion. I do believe that Kyle Shanahan can do a good job of coaching him, but my gosh, I can't stop thinking about this. I'm in shambles. Brock Purdy, according to John Lynch, he's on schedule to throw in June. So this is right along the timeline of what the Niners anticipated here. And for the Niners, this is good news, right? He's not out there throwing yet, John Lynch said. That's going to happen around week 12. That would be 12 weeks after surgery, which is kind of the next inflection point. But he's doing really good, doing everything that he can do. As you know, that's just Brock's personality, and it's great to see him out here every day as he is at the Niners facility in Santa Clara. I just got a report from the trainers, so week 12, that's where he can actually go out, start lobbing a football, and according to the surgeon, you start getting a little better read on exactly where he's at right about then. And for Purdy, look, you can make the argument he gives the Niners the best opportunity to win right now, and I think that's why this coaching staff and some of his teammates have advocated for him to be the team's starter. There's no other way to put it. What he did down the stretch in replacing Jimmy Garoppolo was hella impressive. The guy did not lose a game until the NFC Championship game. 5-0 in the regular season, basically 6-0, because Garoppolo went out early against the Dolphins, then won 2 games in the NFL playoffs, made some adjustments along the way, and displayed a lot of qualities that you want in a starter. Accuracy, anticipation, good pocket feel, pocket mobility, the sneaky ability to extend plays when the pocket does break down, completed 67% of his passes in the regular season, threw 13 touchdowns, 4 picks, good decision maker. He was a little bit rocky early in those playoff games against Seattle and against the Dallas Cowboys. Both defenses pretty solid last year, but then started to find a groove as he became more comfortable. Brock Purdy can play. And if you can play well for this team and get on the field early, you're once again looking at a team that should have Super Bowl aspirations. Will Purdy be ready week 1? To me, it's the Niners and it's the Eagles. I think the Eagles are the better team than the Niners right now in the pecking order of the NFC, but it goes to show you San Francisco can ball out. R for ready and for not ready. What do you think about Brock? Let's round out the show with this. The 49ers signing Isaiah Winstead, who has some really interesting athletic traits. He is 6'4", 210 pounds. He has 80-inch arms, and he immediately becomes the tallest player at the wide receiver position on the 49ers roster. Now, this is a really, really cool story because he tweeted this out the other day, which has picked up so much volume on social media. And right now it has 2 million views, right? He said, I'm 6'4", 210, moving like this. No minicamp invite or UDFA deal. Behind the scenes, this is what I can do. With 88 catches and 1,100 yards this past season. God makes no mistakes, though. Thank you in advance. So like I said, this video now has nearly 4,000 retweets, nearly 20,000 favorites, more than 1,000 replies, 2 million views. And the 49ers, they're bringing him in on a UDFA deal. Here's what he did last year for East Carolina. He's played at a couple of different spots. He played at Toledo before ECU, and then he also played before that at Norfolk State. So a couple of stops. I'm not sure why he's had a couple of stops, but last year, 88 grabs, more than 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. And with that length, with that athleticism, check out his footwork on that video as well. The guy can move. Did the Niners get a steal here? We'll see. But what he's done, he's put up production in his college career. 2018 freshman year, 633 yards. Year after that, that was on 54 catches, by the way. Year after that, he goes from Norfolk State to Toledo, 25 grabs, 429. After that, 38 for 520. And then this past year for ECU in the American Athletic Conference, you're going up against some pretty solid competition. So I think the play here, you start off at Norfolk State, You played pretty well, 633 yards, 5 touchdowns as a freshman. You have an uptick in competition going to Toledo, and then you go to ECU, which is an uptick in competition from that. So I'm fascinated to see what this dude can do. Moves pretty well. And you go and look at the footwork on that video on social media. Guy has some pretty nasty footwork. So will Winstead make the roster? M for make, W for you don't think that he'll make it. Either way, it's a pretty cool story. I know I saw a different tweet where he's like, I just want to make my son proud, man. Your son's going to be proud of you, even if you get to throw on that Niners uniform for just a UDFA deal. Look, you're in like the 1% of cats who actually have an opportunity at sniffing the NFL level and sniffing professional sports. So, Winstead, you already got that dub in my book.